Hello, I'm Patricia Gras. Welcome to Passion Time. I'm here with Greg Micek with Dual Empowerment. It has a lot to do with invention and creativity, which is something that we should all care about. But first of all, when I ask you, Greg, what is your passion and how are you living your passion?
My passion is empowerment, and that comes from the fact that my dad left the priesthood to marry my mom.
Wow.
So you can imagine the kind of
The drama.
the family environment that I grew up in.
Right.
In terms of having that level of spirituality.
That's true too, yes.
In my family.
Yes.
And then second of all, I've got 11 years of Jesuit education. And so the Jesuits' whole issue is
social justice and empowerment.
Community service and empowerment. So
did you go to straight Jesuit?
I went to a Jesuit school up in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
High school, college, and law school. It's called Creighton.
Wow, my brother went to straight Jesuit. That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the Jesuits are great. I mean,
yeah, well, it's sort of the intellectual side of the Catholic Church. So that's,
yeah,
it's a good thing.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about the Young Inventors Society, because that's part of your dual empowerment. Let's talk about what's the dual empowerment.
The dual empowerments are public safety empowerment and economic empowerment.
Okay.
And on the public safety side, I own software that mimics a police sketch artist. It's called Faces. And I bought it after 9/11 happened. I found it in California, and it's used by detectives and teachers. Detectives use it to solve crime, and teachers use it in the classroom to teach forensic science and biometrics, and it's also used in art departments as a foundation for portrait art. But the empowerment side of that happened when my wife and I were robbed about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And we used our software to sketch the robber, and they caught the guy. And that's when I said, we need to go beyond detectives and teachers and actually get the public involved in public safety. So now we have a whole saturation campaign to get the public involved in empowering themselves to solve crime. And
how do they do that, though? How do they do that?
Well, if they, like my wife and I, we got robbed and we sketched the robber, we gave it to the police, and they found the guy. And so,
but how did you? I mean, you were able to sketch the robber with your invention.
With our software.
Right, with your software. But not everybody has the software.
That's why I'm getting it out there so everybody has it.
Oh,
I actually have a campaign going on in Katy, Texas right now, that every resident of Katy will have a copy of our software. 230,000 residents will all have the software, working with law enforcement and schools, so that the entire public is able to engage in public safety.
Well, I read you sent me an article about a home here, a very wealthy home here, that one guy who was running around robbing and open houses.
That's my wife and I, yes.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, so you have the big house.
Yeah,
okay.
My wife and I were robbed having an open house.
And this guy robbed your jewelry and
he knew the layout of the house because they had our floor plan on har.com. So he knew exactly where to go.
Yes.
And went in and robbed the house and ran out.
And they caught him because
of the sketch.
your
A
software.
mugshot came down in the article. A mugshot came down identical to the sketch, and so they caught the guy. And my wife's testimony in the sketch put the guy away for 15 years.
Wow. But you also, this is obviously your invention, and you care about that because you founded the Houston Inventors Society?
No, I actually found this software in Fresno, California, Fresno State. I specifically looked for anti-terrorism technology around the country, and I found it there, and I bought it. I didn't invent it, I bought it.
Okay.
Back in 2002. On the Inventors side, which is my second empowerment, it's economic empowerment. I founded the Houston Inventors Association 35 years ago, and then we founded the Young Inventors Showcase 30 years ago. And my dream with the inventors, young inventors specifically, what we do in the classroom around the city is we teach teachers how to teach kids how to invent, and then they invent, and then we come in and judge the inventions, and then we have preliminary competitions all over the region, and then we have the finals the third Saturday in May. And what happens is, when the finals happen, you start with like 2,500 inventions, and at the finals there's maybe 50, 60, but every single one of those inventions is commercially viable, which is really cool. Last May at the finals were at the River Oaks Elementary, and every single invention was commercially viable. The other thing we teach
Let me ask you this, because this is important.
Yeah.
When you say commercially viable, where does the money go? Does it go to the inventor, or does it go to the corporation that buys the invention?
Saying the invention is commercially viable.
When you say, what do you mean by that?
It means it is able to. It looks like it would sell.
Okay, okay,
It
okay.
looks like it would sell, and we say. And so my dream has always been to take the best ideas and actually take them to market and launch them as businesses.
Right, right.
And we have a success story that has created the opportunity for us to actually do this. So now we actually do have a phase 2, which we call the Youth Entrepreneurship Camp, in which we actually, after the finals, after the competition, we have a summer camp. We bring the kids and their parents to a week-long summer camp, and we teach them how to turn their invention into a business, which is really cool. So we're empowering these families to take their kids' inventions and actually launch businesses.
How do they get involved with this camp? And is it a scholarship, or do you have to pay to go to the
Well,
camp?
it's a scholarship, but it's the ones that are the finalists for the Young Inventor Showcase automatically go to the camp.
Okay. And what is the website so that people who are interested in sending their kids to this?
Okay, it's younginventorsshowcase.org.
Okay, okay. And they can, and that's every year, you do that every year.
Every year.
What are some of the key elements, do you think, for a young person to become an inventor or creator?
Well, we actually have curriculum, a lesson plan, and the teachers take the kids through about an 8-week course that teaches them how to invent. And then from December and January, and then in February, the kids invent based on what they've been taught. And then we come in March and we judge the preliminary competitions, and then the finals are the 3rd week in May.
But not every school has this, right? It's just some schools?
We're in about 20 schools,
okay.
From Katy ISD to River Oaks Elementary to Montrose Montessori to Lee
So
City.
do you pick the schools, or do they call you? The teacher
the teachers
interested
themselves show an interest.
Okay.
So.
Tell me, what are some of the anecdotes that you have of some of the kids? Because I'm sure you have incredible stories.
The best story that I have, and I just found out about this last November. In 2013, one of our finalists at the time was a 6th grader. His name is Sean Gilmore. And he had an invention which was a pup tent for 2. Because kids, when they do sleepovers, they don't want to share a bed.
Right.
They don't want to touch each other.
Right.
Well, he invented a pup tent that sits on a single bed with a divider in the middle. So they can both sleep under the pup tent. They will not touch each other. And they have a lot of fun because it's like camping out.
Right.
Well, his mother is a patent judge in town, Judge Gilmore. She found a manufacturer in China. And I found out in November that he just cut a deal with a major resort chain.
Wow.
Where they're going to have his pup tent available to be rented out by families when they stay at the resort. And then when they leave, it's sold in the store at the
So if
resort.
they want to take it with them. And this is in China?
The manufacturer is in China.
But the resort here in the U.S.,
It's a resort chain.
Okay.
That's all over the U.S.
Why is it so important, you think, to empower or to motivate young people to create and to invent? Why is that important?
It's empowerment. And for our kids, not to be passive, but to be active, to own their own futures. We actually take it beyond the grade school level into the high school level. And we did a pilot program at Wenchi High School up in Spring, in which we took high school kids that invented, and then we created management teams of high school kids to help the inventor launch a business. And it was really cute because I asked the inventor, I said, who do you know that can sell ice cream to Eskimos? And she said, Sally. I said, well, who do you know that's really good at numbers? Well, that's Johnny. So through my questioning, we built a management team around the kids that she knew. So it's a way to engage in your future without being locked into one path. You can have an alternative ways to become financially successful.
Okay, well, thank you, Greg. I'd like to for you to share your website so that if people are interested in the dual empowerment programs, they can get to you.
So again, it's younginventorsshowcase.org, and on the
Thank you so
on the-
much.
Oh, I do have a
Oh,
YouTube
yes.
channel. I do have a
Oh, you
YouTube
do.
channel.
Okay, good.
Okay, which has
Mention that.
videos on both.
Okay.
And it's youtube.com/user/Greg J. Micek. And you'll see all my videos.
Greg J. Okay, great. I'm glad you're my competition. That's a good thing. Thank you so much for
bet. Thank
joining
you.
us, Greg Micek.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Passion Time. And make sure you subscribe to our channel as well. And if you have kids that are creative and inventors, get in touch with Greg. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.